This is Cooking at Kaleo. Today I'm really excited to teach you guys how to reuse your leftovers. So I had a little bit of leftover smoky sweet chicken thighs that I made the other night, and I'm going to turn it into chicken salad today. So in my chicken salad, I like to make it kind of traditional. So we're going to use some raw onions. I do not love the texture of raw onions. I don't mind the taste, but I don't love the texture. So I actually just blend it up like a quarter of an onion. I just pureed it in my blender. So we're gonna use some pureed raw onions in our chicken salad. We're gonna use about 3 stalks of celery, a couple handfuls of pecans, some smoky sweet chicken thighs. Obviously we're gonna use 2 or 3 of those depending on the size. About a heaping cupful of green grapes. Oh, my egg is rolling away. 2 hard-boiled eggs. If you don't like eggs, you can totally leave these out. You can leave out any of these ingredients that you don't like. We're gonna coat it with mayonnaise, about a half cup to a cup, depending on how much mayonnaise you want in there. And then we're gonna just season it with some salt and pepper. Let's get started. The only thing we're cooking in this recipe today are the hard-boiled eggs. I've already cooked my chicken last night. It's just been cooling in the fridge. It was leftovers. So to cook our hard-boiled eggs, you just wanna get your smallest little sauce pot in Laketown, put your 2 raw eggs in the sauce pot, and then just fill it with water, just enough to cover the eggs, cold water. And then you're gonna put it on your stovetop, turn the heat to high, cover it with the lid, and let those eggs come up to a boil. Then you're gonna let the eggs boil for 2 minutes and then turn off the heat, remove the eggs from the heat, and just let them sit for an additional 7 minutes. And then that will give you a perfectly cooked hard-boiled egg. While we're waiting on our hard-boiled eggs to cook, we can go ahead and prep the rest of our chicken salad ingredients. We're gonna start with the chicken thighs. I'm gonna do 2.5 chicken thighs in my chicken salad today. If you need to use 3, that's great, or if 2 works for you, that's good, just depending on the size. So for the chicken thighs, they're just cold already. I like to chop mine up pretty small, like 1/4 inch to 1/8 of an inch pieces. So you're just gonna hold your knife properly between your pointer and your thumb, like that, and then slice your chicken one way and kind of slice it pretty thin, and then turn it and dice it the other way. Keep your fingers tucked in so that you don't slice your fingers off. Turn it, dice it the other way, and then I like to just run my knife across it over and over until it's the size that I want. Push down and forward, down and forward, down and forward, and then just run your knife across it over and over again until it's about 1/4 inch to 1/8 of an inch pieces. I like them about like this. You see that? Next, we're gonna chop up our celery. So for celery, I just want to cut it in a few large pieces, so about like that. And then I'm gonna cut it in strips, like about a 1/4 inch to 1/8 of an inch strips. I'll show you guys. About like that. And then turn it and dice it the other way. I like the pieces in my chicken salad to be as small as possible, but I also don't want to like go crazy chopping. So I like them to be about like that, like 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch little pieces. Just throw that right in the bowl with your chicken. So we're doing about 2 cups of chicken, about 1.5, maybe 1 cup of celery. It's about 3 celery stalks. For the celery, when you're slicing it, I want you to push your knife down and forward and then pull it back when you hit the board. Down and forward, pull it back, down and forward, pull it back, down and forward, pull it back. Next, we're gonna slice up our grapes. My grapes are kind of little, they're about medium sized, so we're just gonna cut them in 8 pieces. So slice them in half, then turn them, slice them in half again, and then slice them in half one more time, so you get 8 pieces that are about a 1/4 inch little pieces of grapes. And just throw them right in the bowl with your chicken and celery. And I went ahead and put the pureed onions in with this mixture too. If you are not an onion fan, just leave them out. I really like the flavor, not a fan of the texture, so that's why I pureed them, but I like the flavor that they add to this dish. My eggs came up to a boil and have been boiling for 2 minutes, so I turned them off of the heat. I'm just gonna take them off of that burner and let them sit for about 7 minutes before cooling them off and peeling them. While we're waiting on our eggs to finish off cooking, we're gonna chop up our pecans. That's the next thing going into our chicken salad. I love pecans because they add a nice crunch. So to do these, it's really easy. You just kind of keep running your knife over them. I like to put my hand on top until they are the size that you like. Again, I kind of like everything in my chicken salad to be about 1/8 of an inch pieces or a 1/4 of an inch pieces. If you want a bigger crunch, you can leave your pecans a little bit bigger. Just keep chopping them up until they're the right size. The hard-boiled eggs have been cooling off for about 7 minutes now. So now it's time to peel them. So we want to ice them down, dump out all of the hot water, and then just pour some ice water over the top of them and let them sit for a couple minutes just to get cool enough to handle. If you are making these ahead of time, you can just let them cool off in your fridge. You don't have to ice them down, but I'm trying to get these done for this chicken salad right now, so I'm cooling them down so that when I peel them, I don't burn my hands. My eggs are cooled off in the cold water, so let me show you guys my little hack to peel these guys. First of all, if you can use old eggs, that is really helpful. Don't use brand new eggs that you just got from the store. It's okay if you do, they're just harder to peel. Okay, so it's all nice and cold. You're gonna just crack it on a hard surface and roll it around. Roll it, till it's all cracked, like that. And then run it under some cold water and just kind of peel off the peel. If you're using an old egg, the peel will start to just come off in sheets, and it's really easy to peel. If you're using like a pretty fresh egg, kind of just takes longer. So, and it won't look as pretty. Our eggs are all peeled and ready to slice up, so you just slice it one way, dice it the next, and it's ready to go in your bowl. Then I already measured out a cup of mayonnaise, which sounds like so much, but we have a lot of chicken salad here. So if you're not a mayonnaise fan, you could use avocados instead. It's expensive, but amazing. You could totally use avocados in this. If this just sounds like way too much mayonnaise for you, cut it down, use a half a cup, see how that goes. A cup of mayonnaise is about right for this amount of ingredients. Last step is just to season our chicken salad with some salt and pepper. So good amount of salt, some pepper, and then just taste it and see if you want a little bit more seasoning. And then you can just chill it in the fridge for about 30 minutes before eating it. That kind of lets everything come together, all the flavors to blend. I love to serve this on croissants as a chicken salad sandwich or with crackers, kind of as like a dip. I also love to just eat it on a bed of spinach as a salad. I hope you guys enjoy this traditional chicken salad made with leftover chicken, and we'll see you next time on Cooking at Kaleo.